राम 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 सर्वेभ्यः हृत्पूर्वक नमस्काराः. Swagatam. Welcome to the 32nd session of Shivananda Lahari. Gatakakshayam punaravartanam asit. Panchashat shlokaः अस्माभिः पठिताः. Agre idanim vayam pathishyamah. So last class we had a revision session 41 to 50 and many of you chanted individually. So we have completed 50 verses, exactly half, and the 50th verse was a description of Mallikarjuna Swami and Brahmarambika of Sri Shailam, where this stotram was composed by Shankaracharya. We will continue with learning the 51st verse today. So let us begin with Guru Vandanam. गुरुरेव गतिर्गुरुमेव भजे गुरुणैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः मतिरस्ति गुरौ मम पाहि गुरो श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् सौन्दर्यलहरी कर्त्रे सर्वमङ्गलदायिने शङ्कराचार्यवर्याय यतिराजाय ते नमः शङ्कारूपेण मच्चित्तं पङ्कीकृतमभूद्यया किङ्करीयस्य सा माया शङ्कराचार्यमाश्रये प्रह्लादवरदो देवो यो नृसिंहः परो हरिः नृसिंहोपासकं नित्यं तं नृसिंहगुरुं भजे श्रीसच्चिदानन्द शिवाभिनव्य नृसिंह भारत्यभिधान्यतीन्द्रान् विद्यानिधीन् मन्त्रनिधीन् सदात्मनिष्ठान् भजे मानवशम्भुरूपान् सदात्मध्याननिरतं विषयेभ्यः पराङ्मुखम् नौमि शास्त्रेषु निष्णातं चन्द्रशेखर भारतीम् विवेकिनं महाप्रज्ञं धैर्यौदार्य क्षमानिधिं सदाभिनवपूर्वन्तं विद्यातीर्थगुरुं भजे भारती करुणापात्रं भारती पदभूषणं भारती पदमारूढं भारती तीर्थमाश्रये भारती तीर्थपर्यन्तं भक्तहृत्तापनाशनं भवभीतिहरं देवं भावये सततं हृदि विद्या विनय संपन्नं वीतरागौ विवेकिनं वन्दे वेदान्त तत्त्वज्ञौ विधुशेखर भारतीम् अनन्त गुण संपन्नामनन्ताभिधयाश्रुताम् अनन्त ज्ञानदात्रीं तां मातरं प्रणुमो वयम् गैर्वाण्या संविबोधेन जीवनं मौल्यसंयुतं या करोत्तान्नमाम्यम्बां शारदामूर्तरूपिणीम् कलाभ्यां चूडालङ्कृत शशिकलाभ्यां निजतपःफलाभ्यां भक्तेषु प्रकटितफलाभ्यां भवतु मे शिवाभ्यामस्तोकत्रिभुवन शिवाभ्यां हृदि पुनर्भवाभ्याम् आनन्दस्फुरदनुभवाभ्यां नतिर्यम्. We will chant 50 once because we will see a continuation in 51. सन्ध्यारम्भविजृम्भितं श्रुतिशिरस्थानान्तराधिष्ठितं सप्रेम भ्रमराभिराममसकृत्सद्वासनाशोभितम् भोगीन्द्राभरणं समस्तसुमनः पूज्यं गुणाविष्कृतम् सेवे श्रीगिरिमल्लिकार्जुन महालिङ्गं शिवालिङ्गितम् 51st verse. Charu. भृङ्गीच्छानटनोत्कटः करिमदग्राही
भृङ्गीच्छानटनोत्कटः करिमदग्राही भृङ्गीच्छानटनोत्कटः करिमदग्राही
हवा सितवपुः
स्फुरन्माधवाह्लादो नादयुतो महासितवपुः स्फुरन्माधवाह्लादो नादयुतो महासितवपुः
पञ्चेषुणाचादृतः
पञ्चेषुणाचादृतः पञ्चेषुणाचादृतः
सत्पक्षः सुमनोवनेषु स पुनः
सत्पक्षः सुमनोवनेषु स पुनः सत्पक्षः सुमनोवनेषु स पुनः
मदीये मनोराजीवे
साक्षान्मदीये मनोराजीवे साक्षान्मदीये मनोराजीवे
भ्रमराधिपो विहरताम्
भ्रमराधिपो विहरताम् भ्रमराधिपो विहरताम्
श्रीशैलवासी विभुः
श्रीशैलवासी विभुः श्रीशैलवासी विभुः
Uttamam. So, as you all might have already guessed, this verse also is a praise of, or sorry, is a stotram to Shri Shailavasi Mallikarjuna Swami. Bhringi cha, bh and cha here Mahapranas. Bhringi cha natanot kataha karimadagrahi. Here Jihva Muliya natanot katah karimadagrahi. Note the Dvitvam here. Karimadagrahi. Sphuran Madhavahlado. Madhavahlado, we don't split there. It's a compound word. We chant together. Nadayuto Mahasitavapuhu. Pancheshuna Chadritaha. So if you choose not to pause here, then it becomes a Upadmaniya. Mahasitavapu Pancheshuna. But first, we are learning for the first time. So we are going to pause at the Yati, wherever it is possible. Satpaksha Sumano Vaneshu Sapunaha. Sakshan Madiye. Again, if you choose to combine these two, it becomes Punas Sakshan Madiye. Manorajive, one word. So we don't split again there. We don't pause after the third line. Manorajive, Brahmaradhipo, Bha and Dha Mahapranas, Viharatam, Shri Shailavasi, Vibhuhu. भृङ्गीच्छानटनोत्कटः करिमदग्राही स्फुरन्माधवाह्लादो नादयुतो
भृङ्गीच्छानटनोत्कटः करिमदग्राही स्फुरन्माधवाह्लादो नादयुतो भृङ्गीच्छानटनोत्कटः करिमदग्राही स्फुरन्माधवाह्लादो नादयुतो नादयुतो
सितवपुः पञ्चेषु नाचादृतः
महासितवपुः पञ्चेषु नाचादृतः महासितवपुः पञ्चेषु नाचादृतः
तत्पक्षस्तु मनोवनेषु स पुनः साक्षान्मदीये मनोराजीवे भ्रमराधिपो विहरताम्
सत्पक्षः सुमनोवनेषु स पुनः साक्षान्मदीये मनोराजीवे भ्रमराधिपो विहरताम् सत्पक्षः सुमनोवनेषु स पुनः साक्षान्मदीये मनोराजीवे भ्रमराधिपो विहरताम्
उत्तमम् श्रीशैलवासी विभुः
श्रीशैलवासी विभुः श्रीशैलवासी विभुः
2 lines at a time now भृङ्गीच्छानटनोत्कटः करिमदग्राही स्फुरन्माधवाह्लादो नादयुतो महासितवपुः पञ्चेषु नाचादृतः
भृङ्गीच्छानटनोत्कटः करिमदग्राही स्फुरन्माधवाह्लादो नादयुतो महासितवपुः पञ्चेषु नाचादृतः भृङ्गीच्छानटनोत्कटः करिमदग्राही स्फुरन्माधवाह्लादो नादयुतो महासितवपुः पञ्चेषु नाचादृतः
There chadritah, we should not say chadritah, no dritvam there. Chadritah satpakshastu manovaneshu sa punah साक्षान्मदीये मनोराजीवे भ्रमराधिपो विहरताम् श्रीशैलवासी विभुः
सत्पक्षः सुमनोवनेषु स पुनः साक्षान्मदीये मनोराजीवे भ्रमराधिपो विहरताम् श्रीशैलवासी विभुः सत्पक्षः सुमनोवनेषु स पुनः साक्षान्मदीये मनोराजीवे भ्रमराधिपो विहरताम् श्रीशैलवासी विभुः
entire verse भृङ्गीच्छानटनोत्कटः करिमदग्राही स्फुरन्माधवाह्लादो नादयुतो महासितवपुः पञ्चेषु नाचादृतः सत्पक्षः सुमनोवनेषु स पुनः साक्षान्मदीये मनोराजीवे भ्रमराधिपो विहरताम् श्रीशैलवासी विभुः
भृङ्गीच्छानटनोत्कटः करिमदग्राही स्फुरन्माधवाह्लादो नादयुतो महासितवपुः पञ्चेषु नाचादृतः सत्पक्षः सुमनोवनेषु स पुनः साक्षान्मदीये मनोराजीवे भ्रमराधिपो विहरताम् श्रीशैलवासी विभुः
So मदीये मनोराजीवे भ्रमराधिपः श्रीशैलवासी विभुः विहरताम्. This is the prayer. Madiye manorajive, in my mind lotus. So we have seen the various forms which the mind has assumed in Shivananda Lahari. Bhagavat Padacharya has compared the mind with many entities. So in this verse, we see the mind compared to a lotus. In the previous few verses, we saw Manasa, Rajahamsa, etc. mind compared to the royal swan. Here, Manorajive, in my mind lotus, Shri Shailavasi Vibhuhu, the one who is residing in the Shri Parvata, Shri Shaila. Vibhuhu, the all-pervading Bhagavan. Brahmaradhipaha, who is the Lord of Brahmarambika or the consort of Brahmarambika. Viharatam, may he rejoice. So may that Brahmaradhipa or Mallikarjuna Swami, who is residing in Sri Shaila, rejoice by residing in my mind lotus. So also a play of words in the previous verse we saw in the 50th verse. We saw how there was a reference to the bee as Brahmara, and also it also referred to the presiding deity, that is Brahmarambika. Parvati Devi is in the form of Brahmarambika in Sri Shaila. So that word Brahmara referred both to the bee and to Brahmarambika Devi contextually. And there was a play of words. Each word we could take to mean in both ways. Similarly, Mallikarjuna, how Mahalinga, that is the Shiva, is in the form of Mallikarjuna in Sri Shaila. We also saw a lot of instances in the last class about the significance of the name Mallikarjuna. Also, Mallikarjuna, Mallika refers to the jasmine creeper. Arjuna refers to white. So refers to the white jasmine plant. And Bhramara refers to the bee, which is hovering around that white jasmine flower. Similarly, in this verse, we will see how again there is a beautiful play of words. Brahmaradhipaha, referring to both Mallikarjuna Swami of Sri Shaila and the best or the king bee. So let us see how that happens. We'll go through the Anvaya. Vibhuhu Sri Shailavasi Saha Brahmaradhipaha Bhringicha Natanotkataha Karimadagrahi Spuran Madhavahladah Nadayutaha Mahasitavapuhu Pancheshunacha Adritaha Sumanovaneshu Satpakshaha Punaha Sakshan Madiye Manorajive Viharatam. So the last line we saw already. Madiye Manorajive Sri Shailavasi Vibhuhu Brahmaradhipaha Viharatam. So the other words, the other three lines, we have adjectives to Brahmaradhipaha, Sri Shailavasi. Bhringi cha natanotkataha. Bhringi cha natanotkataha. Bhringi, we know that Bhringi is one of the very important Pramatha Ganas, the Bhaktas who surround Parameshwara in Kailasa. So Bhringi, in many Tyagaraja's kritis also we come across Bhringi Natesha Samiraja, etc. So Bhringi, Ichha, the desire of Bhringi. Natanotkataha. So we have references that Bhringi, in order to see, he is so desirous of witnessing that beautiful cosmic dance, Tandava of Parameshwara, and he comes and announces and requests Parameshwara to dance. Then to fulfill the Ichha, the desire of Bhringi, Bhagavan, he performs Mahatandavam and he performs that celestial dance. So Bhringi cha Natanotkataha, the one who danced eagerly to fulfill the desire of Bhringi, that is the one of the primary Pramatha Ganas. Then Karimadagrahi. Karimadagrahi refers to Kari, elephant. Madagrahi, the one who subdued or destroyed the ego or pride of Gajasura. So we know that Gajasura was slayed by Parameshwara. So Karimadagrahi refers to the one who destroyed the pride of Gajasura. First, we are looking at the meaning with reference to Parameshwara. Then we will see how each word refers to the bee also. Spuran Madhava Ladaha, the one who is delighted or pleased with Bhagavan Vishnu. Now we have many of these instances. We know many places, and Parameshwara is supposed to be the first bhakta, or rather a great devotee of Rama. Similarly, Sri Rama is also a great devotee of Parameshwara. We know about how Rama has prayed in Rameshwaram by establishing that linga there. And similarly, Ishvara is, many places we come across this reference that he is a devotee of Rama. In fact, in Vishnu Sahasranamam, we see when Parvati asks, "Hey Parameshwara, how do we chant these 1,000 names every day, and what is that one nama which is equal to chanting 1,000 names of Vishnu?" And he says, "Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasra Rama Tatulyam Rama Nama Varanane." Oh Parvati, chanting Rama Nama thrice, Shri Rama Rama Rama, that is equal to chanting Vishnu Sahasranama once. Now, how that is because of this Katapaya Sutra in Sanskritam, where each letter is given a number. So 5 into 2, Ra and Ma becomes 5 into 2, 10, 10 into 10 into 10 becomes 1,000. So that is, we'll maybe look at it another time. So Rama, 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 chanting it thrice, Rama's name thrice, is equal to chanting Vishnu Sahasranama once. So many instances where we see this mutual admiration of Shiva and Vishnu. Also, when Vishnu took the form of Mohini, that is when the Devas and Asuras churned the ocean and the pot of nectar was obtained, Amritam. We know that Vishnu took the form of Mohini in order to distribute the Amritam so that he could give it to the Devas. And it is said that when he took the form of Mohini, Ishvara was mesmerized by that form of Vishnu. So again, pleased or delighted by Bhagavan Vishnu. Spuran Madhava Hladaha. In Saundarya Lahari also there is a reference to that in one of the verses. While praying to Parvati Devi, Bhagavat Padacharya says, "Haristvam Aradhya Pranatajana Saubhagya Jananim Puranari Bhutva Puraripumapi Kshobhamanayat." Hey Janani, Harihi Tvam Aradhya, Hari, Vishnu, after praying, prostrating to you, he took the form of Mohini. And what happened? Puraripumapi Kshobhamanayat. Puraripu is Parameshwara, that is Ishvara. We know why he got the name Puraripu, he destroyed the Tripuras, etc. So, even Parameshwara, he was mesmerized by that form of Mohini. And how was that form taken by Hari? After worshipping Devi. So, Haristvam Aradhya Pranatajana Saubhagya Jananim Puranari Bhutva Puraripumapi Kshobhamanayat. So, as a praise to Parameshwari, Jagat Janani, there is a reference to this particular episode where Parameshwara was mesmerized by the Mohini form of Vishnu. So again, Spuran Madhava Hladaha, the one who is delighted or pleased by Vishnu in whichever form, as Mohini or as Sri Rama. So we see this mutual admiration in many instances. So Spuran Madhava Hladaha Nada Yutaha. Bhagavan Parameshwara is that Pranavanada itself, that Omkara. And also Omkara Upasana is a way to reach Parameshwara. Nada Yutaha, the one who is united with the sound of Om or Pranavanada. Nada Tanumanisham Shankaram, very beautiful, famous Kriti is there. So, the entire form of Parameshwara is supposed to be that form of Nada. He is Nada himself. He is that Pranavanada, that ultimate Omkara. Even in Bhagavad Gita 8th chapter, Krishna says, Om Ityekaksharam Brahma. That Parabrahman, that ultimate reality is that syllable Om. Iti Ekaksharam, that one syllable Om is that ultimate reality. So, Nada Yutaha. Mahasita Vapuhu. Sita Vapuhu. So we know that always Parameshwara is referred to as being fair complexioned, bright, fair complexioned. Mahasita Vapuhu. Maha is very, very bright or fair complexioned. Pancheshuna Chagritaha. Pancheshu, pancha, 5. Ishu refers to arrows. So the one with 5 arrows is who? Manmatha. Pancheshuna Chadritaha, the one who was honored by Manmatha. Satpaksha Sumano Vaneshu. So Sumano Vaneshu. In protecting Sumana, Avana means protecting. In protecting the Devatas or the ones with a beautiful mind or realized souls or, the yogis. So in protecting the Devatas and yogis, the one who takes pride, Parameshwara, takes pride in protecting the Devas. Punaha, Sakshan Madiye Manorajive. In my mind lotus, Brahmaradhipaha, the consort of Brahmarambika. Shri Shailavasi, the one who resides in Shri Shaila. Vibhuhu, the all-pervading Bhagavan. Viharatam, may he rejoice. So each of these words is an adjective to Parameshwara. Now the same verse is very beautifully, you can have it, you can take the meaning as referring to a bee. This is a play on words, which is why this, like I've been telling, Shivananda Lahari, it is a Bhakti Shastram. Apart from Bhakti Shastram, we learn the literary beauty of Sanskritam. And we see how even Shankaracharya is a Prakriti Kavi. He's describing so much of nature. And what a literary genius he must be to use this play of words with such apt, words, which also should conform to the chandas, right? The meter in which he is composing. And the same words are referring both to Parameshwara and to whatever he is describing in that particular verse. We have seen quite a few instances like that so far. The other verses today also we will see that. So here, Brahmaradhipaha is the king bee or the foremost among bees. Bhringi cha natanot kataha. So Bhringi cha natanot kataha means Bhringi refers to the she bee. And the male bee dances in order to fulfill the desire of the she bee. So Bhringi cha natanot kataha. Kari madagrahi. So this is a reference in many Sanskritam works we come across. Kari is elephant. Mada refers to that ichor which is produced near the temples of the elephant, male elephant. And it is said that the bees are attracted to that ichor of the male of the elephant. Kari madagrahi. So the bee which is attracted to the ichor of the elephant. Now, with reference to Parameshwara, it is the one who destroyed the pride of Gajasura. Mada is also ego or pride. Mada also refers to that ichor of the elephant. Spuran Madhava Hladaha. Madhava, we saw, refers to Vishnu. Madhava also refers to spring season. Now, the bee is obviously delighted by the spring season with a lot of blooms. So, Spuran Madhava Hladaha. Nadayutaha. Now we know when the bees hum, they make that humming sound, buzzing sound. This even when we do this Brahmari, it's that is one kind of pranayama, very effective. So that sound is produced like a bee Brahmari. So Nadayutaha, the one with that, the bee which makes the buzzing sound or the nada, the humming bee sound. Maha Sitavapuhu. This is a beautiful play again. Maha is great. So Maha Sitavapuhu, very great, fair complexion when it comes to Parameshwara. But if you split it in another way, Maha Asitavapuhu. So when you split it as Asitavapuhu, it gives the opposite meaning. Sita is fair, white complexion. That is how we take it with reference to Parameshwara. When we split it as Asitavapuhu, it becomes not fair complexion, that is dark complexion. So we have seen the bees have a dark complexion. So that is what is referred to here. Maha Asitavapuhu. Pancheshuna Chadritaha. Now these bees are used by Manmatha to in the spring season to create illusion, moha, and to achieve his goals and targets. Again, in same verse, like I referred to Haristva Maradhya, the next line in Saundarya Lahari, Bhagavad Padacharya says, Pranata Saubhagyajani Puranari Bhutva Puraripumapik Shobhamanayat. That is with reference to Parameshwara. Smaropi Tvam Natva Ratinayana Lehyena Vapusha Muninam Apyantaha Prabhavatihi Mohaya Mahatam. Smaraha means Manmatha. So Manmatha also, hey Jagajanani, after prostrating to you, after seeking your blessings, then what does he do? Smaropi Tvam Natva, having prostrated, then he creates moha, illusion in the mind of munis also, the ones who have conquered all their internal enemies and they are very self-controlled. Even in those minds of munis, Manmatha is able to create that illusion because he has sought your blessings and he has prostrated to you. That is one verse in Saundarya Lahari. Pancheshuna here Chadritaha means the one who is again honored by Manmatha, or the bees are used by Manmatha as instruments to achieve his objective. Also reminds me of the episode in Abhignana Shakuntalam, right? That if most of you might have already read it, the bee episode where there is a bee which is troubling Shakuntala and she calls out for help. And then that is when Dushyanta makes his grand entry. Till then, he is observing behind the bushes. He is observing Shakuntala and her friends, Priyambada and Anasuya. So when Shakuntala calls out for help, Dushyanta, in the guise of protecting, he comes, enters and says, who is disturbing the peace of these of this hermitage and these girls who are staying in the hermitage in Kanva Maharshi's ashrama. So there is that bee is a very important that episode of the bee is a very important twist in the plot in Abhignana Shakuntalam, which the bee is the cause for Dushyanta's entry. So that is how the bee is used by Manmatha. Pancheshuna Chadritaha. Then Satpakshaha, the one with beautiful wings, when it refers to the bee. Then Sakshat Madiye Manorajive Brahmaratipaha Viharatam. Now here Sumano Vaneshu means, Sumana also means flowers. So there we saw Sumana refers to Devas and yogis. So here Sumana also means flower. So we know the bee resides in flowers and the bee draws nectar from flowers. So it is always in the company of flowers. Sakshan Madiye Manorajive Brahmarathipaha Viharatam. So such a bee may reside in my lotus mind. So this is a verse beautifully which applies both to Brahmarathipa Parameshwara Mallikarjuna Swami of Sri Shaila and the bee. Now we read the meaning here. Here we only give you the meaning referring to Parameshwara. May Bhagavan of Sri Shaila, the beloved of Brahmarambika, freely roam within the lotus of my mind. He is the one who joyfully danced for his devotee Bhringi, who shattered the pride of Gajasura, who is delighted by Bhagavan Vishnu. He is ever united with the sound of Pranava Omkara and radiates a brilliant white glow. Honored even by Manmatha, the one with 5 arrows, he takes pride in protecting the Devatas. May that all-pervading Bhagavan, manifesting in infinite forms, reside eternally in my heart, bringing divine bliss and grace. Bhringichanatanotkaṭah karimadgrahi sphuran madhava hlado nadayuto mahasitavapuhu pancheshuna chadritah satpakshassu manovaneshu sapunah साक्षान्मदीये मनोराजीवे भ्रमराधिपो विहरताम् श्रीशैलवासी विभुः. Now, Shriya, कारुण्यामृतवर्षिणम्. Shriya? Okay, Aditi? कारुण्यामृतवर्षिणम्.
कारुण्यामृतवर्षिणम्. कारुण्यामृतवर्षिणम्.
घन विपद्ग्रीष्मच्छिदा कर्मठम्
घन विपद्ग्रीष्मच्छिदा कर्मटम् घन विपद्ग्रीष्मच्छिदा कर्मठम्
विद्यासस्य फलोदयाय
विद्यासस्य फलोदयाय विद्यासस्य फलोदयाय
सुमनः संसेव्यमिच्छाकृतिम्
सुमनः संसेव्यमिच्छाकृतिम् सुमनः संसेव्यमिच्छाकृतिम्
निलयम्
नृत्यद्भक्तमयूरमद्रिनिलयम् नृत्यद्भक्तमयूरमद्रिनिलयम्
चञ्चज्जटामण्डलम्
चञ्चज्जटामण्डलम् चञ्चज्जटामण्डलम्
शम्भो वाञ्छति नीलकन्धर सदा
शम्भो वाञ्छति नीलकन्धर सदा शम्भो वाञ्छति नीलकन्धर सदा
मे मनश्चातकः
त्वां मे मनश्चातकः त्वां मे मनश्चातकः
Karunyamrita Here, Amrita, we should be very careful about pronouncing that. First, it is Amrita. It is not Amruta. It is not U. Amrita, R. Also, when we say Karunyamrita, Karunya, there is Dvitvam, Karunya. However, Amrita, there is no Dvitvam. It is not Amrita. There is a tendency to pronounce it as Karunyamrita. There is no extra M there. So we should be careful. It is a Gunitaksharam. Karunyamrita Varshinam. Ghana, Gha is Mahaprana combining Karunyamrita Varshinam Ghana. We can come the Varshinam Ghana Vipadgrishmachida Karmatham. Chi and Tha Mahapranas. Vidyasasya Samsevyamichakritim. Cha is Mahaprana. Nrityad Bhakta Mayura Madri Nilayam. Bha Adri. Note the Dvitvam there. Adri Nilayam. Chancha Jata Mandalam. Shambho. Bho is Mahaprana. Vanchati. Cha. Neelakandhara. Dha is Mahaprana. Daha. Karunyamritavarshinam ghana vipadgrishmachida karmatham.
कारुण्यामृतवर्षिणं घनविपद्ग्रीष्मच्छिदा कर्मठम् कारुण्यामृतवर्षिणं घनविपद्ग्रीष्मच्छिदा कर्मठम्
विद्यासस्य फलोदयाय सुमनः संसेव्यमिच्छाकृतिम्
विद्यासस्य फलोदयाय विद्यासस्य फलोदयाय सुमनः संसेव्यमिच्छाकृतिम् विद्यासस्य फलोदयाय सुमनः संसेव्यमिच्छाकृतिम्
यद्भक्तमयूरमद्रिनिलयं चञ्चज्जटामण्डलम्
नृत्यद्भक्तमयूरमद्रिनिलयं चञ्चज्जटामण्डलम् नित्यद्भक्तमयूरमद्रिनिलयं चञ्चज्जटामण्डलम्
शम्भो वाञ्छति नीलकन्धर सदा त्वां मे मनश्चातकः
शम्भो वञ्चति नीलकन्धर
Shambho
सदा
vanchati, not vanchati.
शम्भो वाञ्छति नीलकन्धर सदा त्वां मे मनश्चातकः शम्भो वाञ्छति नीलकन्धर सदा त्वां मे मनश्चातकः
कारुण्यामृतवर्षिणं घनविपद्ग्रीष्मच्छिदाकर्मठम् विद्यासस्य फलोदयाय सुमनः संसेव्यमिच्छाकृतिम्
कारुण्यामृतवर्षिणं घनविपद्ग्रीष्मच्छिदाकर्मठम् विद्यासस्यफलोदयाय सुमनः संसेव्यमिच्छाकृतिम् कारुण्यामृतवर्षिणं घनविपद्ग्रीष्मच्छिदाकर्मठम् विद्यासस्यफलोदयाय सुमनः संसेव्यमिच्छाकृतिम्
त्रिनिलयं चञ्चज्जटामण्डलम् शम्भो वाञ्छति नीलकन्धर सदा त्वां मे मनश्चातकः
नृत्यद्भक्तमयूरमद्रिनिलयं चञ्चज्जटामण्डलम् शम्भो वाञ्छति नीलकन्धर सदा त्वां मे मनश्चातकः नृत्यद्भक्तमयूरमद्रिनिलयं चञ्चज्जटामण्डलम् शम्भो वाञ्छति नीलकन्धर सदा त्वां मे मनश्चातकः
कारुण्यामृतवर्षिणं घनविपद्ग्रीष्मच्छिदाकर्मठम् विद्यासस्यफलोदयाय सुमनः संसेव्यमिच्छाकृतिम् नृत्यद्भक्तमयूरमद्रिनिलयम् चञ्चज्जटामण्डलम् शम्भो वाञ्छति नीलकन्धर सदा त्वां मे मनश्चातकः
कारुण्यामृतवर्षिणं घनविपद्ग्रीष्मच्छिदाकर्मठम् विद्यासस्यफलोदयाय सुमनः संसेव्यमिच्छाकृतिम् नृत्यद्भक्तमयूरमद्रिनिलयं चञ्चज्जटामण्डलम् शम्भो वाञ्छति नीलकन्धर सदा त्वां मे मनश्चातकः
उत्तमम् शम्भो नीलकन्धर मे मनश्चातकः सदा त्वां वाञ्छति. So last verse Brahmaradhipa as Mallikarjuna Swami and as a bee, king bee. Here Neelakandhara refers to the one with the dark neck when we take it as a reference to Parameshwara. He Neelakandhara, he Shambho, me Manashchatakaha. So previous verse Mano Rajive, that is lotus mind. In this verse, Manaha Chatakaha. Now the mind becomes a Chataka Pakshi, the Chataka bird. So in Sanskritam literature, we have a lot of references to the Chataka Pakshi, which is a kind of bird which only drinks water directly from the rain. Meaning, when it is raining, from the water which comes from the sky, from the clouds, it directly consumes that water. And it never drinks water from the ground. Meaning once the water is in the pond or lake or any sources of water on earth, it doesn't drink that water. Chataka Pakshi only drinks the water which directly comes when it is raining. So basically, only when it rains, it drinks water. Otherwise, it doesn't drink. So what does a Chataka Pakshi want? It seeks rain. It waits for rain because only when it rains, it consumes that water directly. So when it sees black clouds or water bearing clouds, the Chataka Pakshi is very delighted because it is going to rain and it is going to drink that water. Also, another analogy which is used very commonly for the Chataka Pakshi is the Chataka bird directly, it seeks only from the one above. That is, it only seeks water directly from the clouds. Similarly, Satpurushaha, they only pray to Bhagavan. They only prostrate to that ultimate reality, Bhagavan. And they don't seek favors from anyone else, any of the powers of this earth, any kings or anyone like that. So here, me manaschatakaha Neelakandhara Tvam Vanchati. So my mind, which is the Chataka bird, only desires you, O Neelakandhara. That is, O, the one with the blue throat. Now we know how when the ocean was churned and the Visha, the poison came out, in order to protect the worlds from the poison, Parameshwara consumed that and his throat became blue because he could not spit out the poison to protect the worlds outside, and he has the universe in him also. So he could not also consume it. So he held it in his throat. So that made his throat blue. So Neelakandhara, Neelakantha, the one with the dark neck. Also, Neelakandhara refers to a cloud. How? Neela, blue or dark. Kam means water. Kam dharati. That is the one which bears the water. So a dark cloud, you know, when the dark clouds gather, that is a signal that it is about to rain. So that water bearing clouds are called Neelakandhara because they are dark in color and they bear water. So come water, dhara, they bear water. So Jaladhara is another a synonym for cloud. So this Neelakandhara word applies both to Parameshwara and to the dark cloud. And very apt usage again play on words in this verse as well. Manaschatakaha, my mind, which is a Chataka Pakshi, only desires Neelakandhara. That is, it only desires Parameshwara, Neelakantha, or it only desires that black water bearing cloud. Now, all the other words, like in the previous verse, are synonyms. Karunyamrita, not synonyms, adjectives to describing the Neelakandhara. Karunyamrita Varshinam. Karunya, compassion. Amrita, nectar. Varshinam. So Parameshwara, he showers this nectar of compassion on everyone. So Karunyamrita Varshinam. When it refers to the cloud, it becomes Amrita is a synonym for water. So Karunyamrita Varshinam, the cloud which showers rain or the cloud which gives water. With reference to Parameshwara, it is the Parameshwara who showers the nectar of compassion. Ghana Vipad Grishma Chida Karmatham. Now, this Grishma Kala, that is the summer season, when there is scorching heat, what do we expect? We expect rain. So when there is rain, it instantly gives relief from that scorching heat, Grishma Kala. Similarly, and Ghana, which refers to something which is terrific or scorching heat, like we say. Ghana Vipat Grishma Chida Karmatham. So rain in summer, it gives instant relief from the scorching heat or troubles caused by scorching heat. Now, Parameshwara, Ghana also means a cloud. Now, Ghana here, with reference to Parameshwara, Ghana Vipad Grishma Chida Karmatham. He gives us relief from the scorching heat of samsara tapa. So, the people who haven't attained Shivanandam, they are troubled by this samsara tapa, that is heat of the samsara. And by showering his nectar of compassion, Parameshwara gives instant relief from the scorching heat of troubles. Vidya sasya phalodayaya. Now, vidya means knowledge. Here it refers to Atma Vidya. Sasya phalodayaya. Sasya, that sprouting of knowledge. Phala udayaya. In order for the knowledge to bear fruit, that is when we take it with reference to Atma Vidya. When one is in the pursuit of Atma Vidya, bearing fruit refers to attaining that Shivanandam, Atma Jnana, Brahmanandam, self-realization. Again, the one who bestows this is who? Parameshwara himself. Vidya sasya phalodayaya. Now, Sumanas samsevyam ichhakritim means the one who is worshipped by Deva, Sumana. Again, you know the word Sumana we came across in the previous verse also. He is worshipped by the Devas. Ichhakritim. He takes whichever form he desires. Now, the same words with reference to the cloud would mean Vidya sasya phalodayaya. We know that when there is rain, only then we have it's possible for cultivation, harvest, and for whatever the pains farmers have taken in agriculture to bear fruit. So the rain is very important for that. Sumanaha Sevyam here worshipped by Devatas with reference to Parameshwara. Very beautifully, Shankara Bhagavat Padacharya is using the word Sumanaha to refer to farmers when it comes to the cloud and the crop. So the farmers play a very, very important role. They are the backbone of society because they are the ones who harvest food. They provide food. They are the ones who are producing food for the rest of the world to eat. So that they are given so much of importance. So these clouds are worshipped by farmers. So we know how, when farmers are dependent solely on the rain, and when the monsoons they're about to arrive and they have made all the preparation for farming, agriculture, etc. All they expect is timely rains, which are neither too much nor not ativrishti, not anavrishti. An adequate amount of rain, which is very necessary, especially when the farming agriculture is dependent on the monsoons. So these clouds are worshipped by farmers. Sumanas samsevyam, ichhakritim with reference to Parameshwara, the one who assumes whichever form he likes. Ichhakritim with reference to the clouds. Again, a beautiful description. So we see how the clouds, they're not constantly in one shape. They keep assuming various shapes. If we observe clouds in a sky, and also as humans, we will be able to make out various designs, or some see some animal in the cloud, some see the same cloud appears as a flower to someone. So we see various forms which the clouds are taking. So ichhakritim applies to the cloud also. Nrityad bhakta mayuram. So with reference to Parameshwara, whose devotees dance like peacocks. So they rejoice. So once the devotees attain that Shivanandam and Shiva is constantly in their heart, they are in that supremely blissful state. And in that state, they rejoice like the Mayuras, the peacocks. Similarly, with reference to the cloud, Nrityat Bhakta Mayuram. The cloud, whenever there are clouds, water-bearing clouds, or when there is thunder, the peacocks rejoice and dance. So, Nrityat Bhakta Mayuram, there with reference to the cloud. Adri Nilayam. Adri, mountain, the one who resides in the mountains. Parameshwara residing in Kailasa, or you can also take it as Sri Shaila. So the one who resides in the mountains, Adri Nilayam. When you see clouds, especially in these hilly regions, etc., we see that they are nested on top of these mountains. We see beautiful mountains, which are, the peaks are covered in clouds. So Adri Nilayam, the clouds which reside on mountains. Chanchat Jata Mandalam. So here, Shishvara has beautiful, bright, shining, matted locks, Jata. So that is with reference to Parameshwara. With reference to the cloud, Chanchat Jata Mandalam refers to the lightning which the clouds have. So this word Jata Mandalam again applies to both Parameshwara and to the clouds which have lightning. Shambho, O Shiva, Neelakandhara, O blue-throated Shiva or Neelakantha, or O water-bearing dark cloud. Me manashchatakaha, my mind, which is a chataka bird, sada tvam vanchati, my mind, which is a chataka bird, always desires you, always seeks for you. Now, even with reference to the Chataka bird, with reference to a cloud, a Chataka bird always desires for clouds too, because when it rains, it drinks directly from the rainwater. So again, a very beautiful play of words here. Let us see the entire meaning. O Neelakantha, O Shambho, my mind, like the Chataka bird, longs always for you alone. Also, like I said, Chataka bird, the analogy given is how a Chataka bird desires only for that supreme ultimate, that directly water from the heavens. It doesn't seek any worldly pleasures. Similarly, here the mind bird only seeks Parameshwara. You are the one whose nature is to shower nectarine compassion, tirelessly dispelling the scorching heat of great calamities. You grant the fruits of the tree of knowledge and are worshipped by the Devatas. You assume any form at will, and your sight, devotees like peacocks, dance in joy. Dwelling upon the mountains, your radiant matted locks shine brilliantly. O embodiment of auspiciousness, my heart forever thirsts for you, just as the Chataka bird longs only for the purest rain from the heavens. कारुण्यामृतवर्षिणं घनविपद्ग्रीष्मच्छिदाकर्मठम् विद्यासस्य फलोदयाय सुमनः संसेव्यमिच्छाकृतिम् नृत्यद्भक्तमयूरमद्रिनिलयं जटामण्डलम् शम्भो वाञ्छति नीलकन्धर सदा त्वां मे मनश्चातकः. Okay, here Shambho, giver of happiness, it also refers to the cloud as as the tiny rains bring happiness to everyone. Okay. We will conclude with Shanti Mantraha. Next Saturday, there may not be class. We will send an email because some of us are attending the World Sanskrit Conference. So on account of that, we may not have class next Saturday. Please do note, but you will get an email regarding that. Let us conclude with Shanti Mantraha. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramayaha. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dhanyavadaha sarvebhyah. Thank you to the panelists. Thank you all. Ram Ram Ram.